Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are back once again.
In person. Oh, I
No,
changed it.
stop.
No, due to lack of popular demand.
Thank you, Andy.
Yay.
Thank you. Yes, this is your weekly dose of all things gaming with two absolutely delusional gamers. And
Fake.
one of us has recently been fired.
Oh, I was, yeah.
You were fired. I fired you for multiple reasons
no.
from the 128 KB News channel. Subscribe to that channel, by the way.
Yes.
Why did I fire you, Andy?
Because I, the passion wasn't there.
Because you're a liar. That's why. Because you're a liar.
Why?
You lied to us all.
Oh, no. You found out.
I found out because I was doing it with you.
True.
In shock news, everybody, Andy, this guy, completed a game.
Oh!
Completed a game. Andy, who never completes games,
Yes.
completed a game.
I know. I did, in fair, I didn't know it was going to end. And the game just ended. The plot and everything didn't seem like it was going to end, did it?
I'll be honest.
So I was like...
I'll let you into what we're actually talking about. It was Gears 5.
Yes.
We've been playing it co-op for a while,
Quite
on and
a while,
off.
Yeah, on and off.
And we finally completed it the other night.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah, go on.
I've got no idea what happened in the story.
I have no idea either. I have no idea.
It might be because I turned the dialogue right down,
Yes.
so I could just hear you talking to me.
Yeah.
And also because I was blinded by frustration the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a fun game. It is fun.
Yeah, co-op. Yeah, I think it's a good co-op game,
But the control system is so
janky.
janky.
Because we played it loads at the beginning,
Yeah.
and we got through probably like 60% of the game, like back to back to back, and the controls were all right because we got used to them. Then we took like massive gaps in between playing, and then when we went back to it, like the other night when we actually completed it, it's like, oh my God, like both of us are just like rolling into the wall and stuff. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are these controls are so clunky?
Just kept dying.
Like, yeah, they're so clunky. Like, it was so weird.
I think for me, the really annoying bit is despite the fact that it's quite a new game still, what's it, like 4 years old, maybe 3-4 years old?
4 or 5, yeah.
Is it that?
Yeah, I think it was 2019 or something.
God, that was only the other day. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I know, yeah.
Despite the fact that it's still relatively modern, it's got almost tank controls.
It does, yeah, but all the Gears games are like that.
Like,
horribly clunky.
holding the A button to run. Fine, okay. I could have put it on the back pedal.
Yeah.
I could have, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But holding A button to run, but A button is also roll, and A button is also take cover.
Yeah.
So if you're holding it and you're running, and he sees cover,
And he's like, wait.
he like sticks to it. Like, no, don't want to stick to it. Yeah. And then to come away from it, you have to press A button again.
Yeah, it's like, it's annoying, isn't it?
It's really when it gets hectic, it's really annoying.
Yeah, especially when you're like rolling into curbs and stuff, and you're like, stop doing, like, just run up it, you freaking idiot. Like, it's so frustrating. Yeah. Like when we played it the other night, and it wasn't good that we'd left it for weeks in between, and we came back to the last like 10% of the game where it's so hectic, and we didn't know how to control the freaking robot guy.
Oh, Jave.
And we were like, what's he doing? Like, how do we do this? Yeah, it was just, we're just rolling, dying everywhere. Like, it sucked. But also, I swear I'd played 1 to 4 previously, because I've definitely played 1 to 3, but I don't think I've played 4, because I had no idea where this story came from.
No,
like
different characters. Like, what's even going on?
I literally didn't have a clue who this was, what was happening. I was like, okay.
It does make me excited for E-Day.
Yes.
When's that coming out?
No idea.
It got announced.
Yeah, it must be next year.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it's later this year. I don't know.
There's a lot of games coming later this year.
Then it's not this year.
No, there's a lot. From like now, from September time to the end of the year, there's like Game Pass is packed.
Well, that's why they delayed Avowed, wasn't it?
Yep.
Because they went, too many games.
That's what they said.
Yeah. No, they knew that I would just not complete it otherwise.
You're not going to complete it anyway.
I'm definitely going to give it a go. I think it looks good.
Gears 5 was a strange occurrence.
I think I'm more likely if it's a co-op game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. Because you're forced to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like you're held accountable for it. When it's just a single player or you're just playing something solo, you go, oh yeah, I'll play something else.
How's your playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima going?
That went really well. I was actually thoroughly enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Until Star Wars Outlaws came out. And I was complaining before Outlaws came out because I went, I want to play Outlaws because I've got a free Ubisoft Plus trial, like code thing.
Yeah.
I was like, but then that's going to stop me playing Ghost of Satsuma.
Yes.
You know? So I was like, So I've completely stopped that. And every couple of days, I'm like trying to remember the controls so that when I go back to it, it's not going to be so painful.
Yeah.
Because I want to go and finally complete it. I started playing Satsuma.
I want to complete it. I've not either.
Yeah. I started playing it when it launched.
Yeah.
Stopped it after like 10 hours or whatever. And then obviously bought it again. Been playing it on the Ally X and been like, this is amazing. Outlaws came out. Stopped freaking Satsuma again. But there we go.
It's an exciting time with so many games coming out, and my backlog is getting bigger and bigger. It's a good problem to have because I mean we've moaned a lot about this generation not having enough like decent titles, and now there's quite a bit coming,
quite a lot, yeah.
And now I actually acknowledge we're just spoiled.
Yeah,
we're proper spoiled with the amount that's there.
There's so many games in my backlog that are going to be amazing that I just haven't had time to play, and there's still more coming out that I want to play. So it's just like. There's plenty of good games out there.
What are you most hyped for that's coming like in the immediate like next kind of 6 months or so?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming. Like all the Game Pass games I'm like really hyped about. Really like the look of that Doom, you know, being the old days one. I can't remember what they call it. But that looks really cool.
You're a huge Doom fan as well.
Yeah, I love Doom. I think they're brilliant. I've been playing them since floppy disk.
Yeah, wow.
Literally like from like mid-90s with my cousin and my brother that are like older, you know, cousins.
It's one of my core memories of the PlayStation. That was the first time I experienced Doom on the PS1.
Yeah.
So anyone who had a PS1, the startup sound like boom.
Yeah.
It always triggers like your core memory of what game you played.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it must have been the first game we played on PS1.
Yeah.
Or like the first full game we had or something. But I just have this core memory of like that Doom.
Amazing.
Being that.
Yeah. I remember it being like the first kind of like horror game that I saw. And it scared the crap out of me.
It wasn't my first horror game, but yeah.
No, it was for me because I was like
it scared
fairly
the crap
young.
out of me still though.
Yeah. Because like my cousins and my brother and that are like 10 years older.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. You know, I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, and of course, like I've got no excuse because I would have been a teenager playing it and being scared.
Yeah.
But you would have been like young.
Yeah. I was like, oh. But I thought it was great running around with this pistol and stuff. And I loved his little face at the bottom, like getting beaten up. And so I was like, this is amazing.
Turning a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to whatever they called that. And this is going to be like a melee based one. You got a shield, you got like swords.
Is it really?
And stuff. Yeah. So
wow.
It's like set in like old times basically. And you're not just sat on Mars or in a spaceship. Yeah. Like there's like actual vegetation. Yeah. You've got like vegetation and stuff. Like it looks cool. Like I can't wait to play that Doom.
Is it straight up just melee?
Yeah, I think so.
No guns?
Don't think so. Yeah.
Wow.
It's all like crossbows.
That's going to be really
stuff.
cool.
Do you know what I mean? Like it looks great. Yeah, it looks really cool. So I'm hyped for the Doom game. Yeah, obviously looking forward to whenever Fable comes out. Don't know when that is. Avowed looks really good.
Does look really good.
What else on Game Pass? I'm not overly fussed about freaking what's his name?
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Same. I was kind of excited when it very first got announced.
I'm like a bit excited, but I'm not like over the moon.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was excited when it got announced. I was like, that might be really cool. And then I saw the first trailer, which was just all cinematic.
Yes.
It was like 4 minutes long.
I remember us talking over it.
I don't like Indiana Jones films that much, let alone watching it on my Xbox.
It's the exact same thing, basically.
Yeah.
I was like,
okay, well, hopefully they'll show some gameplay soon. And then they did at Gamescom Opening Night Live, they showed gameplay.
Yes.
And then seeing the gameplay, I was like, oh, wow, you've got a camera.
Yeah.
Oh, is this just Uncharted?
Basically, yeah. First person Uncharted. Yeah.
I'm not that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the kind of weird mix between first person and third person.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work. It might be great. You know, I'll give it a go. It's on Game Pass. I'm not going to pay for it.
What do you think about it coming to PlayStation?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's totally mad.
I think it's a good thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing for Xbox to start doing, bringing some big hitters cross-platform.
Yeah, it's exciting for them.
Yeah.
It's more of that kind of blurred lines thing that seems to be like what's going to be the future of gaming, the next generation.
But
kind of barriers disappeared between consoles.
But I think it makes total sense. You want to play it for free? get an Xbox and get a Game Pass, or do you want to pay full price, play it on PlayStation?
And talking of that, I suppose as well, you've got Astro Bot's just about to drop like any day now, so it's probably out by the time this comes out.
I think.
Is it out today? Is it?
I think it's something like that.
The review's already out anyway, so the review copies have gone out. Firstly, massively successful. I think the best rated platform game ever.
Yes,
is that right on Metacritic?
Something like that. Yeah,
it's a game we've both been like properly excited for.
The least best rated on PlayStation or something. I can't remember. It's a really high. It's in the 90s at this point.
Which for a platform kind of
it's mad
adventure-y kind of game. It's big, and it is kind of the whole thing's a bit tongue in cheek and fun.
Yeah.
But Astro's Playroom was amazing.
That was my favourite PlayStation 5 game.
I'm with you, man. Totally with you. Like PS5, just PS5 exclusive, not PS4 or anything.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's been the best experience. So
it was fantastic.
The full game version of that, I'm totally hyped for, and I'm still quite surprised that it's been so well received though, because I would have thought it would just be PlayStation fans that would acknowledge it.
Yeah, got you.
Which is obviously not what the critics are.
Yeah.
But my point of bringing that up and the blurred lines thing is, I covered it in the news channel a couple of weeks ago. The creative director from the studio that's made it very clearly was talking about it coming to PC.
Yeah, which
wasn't ruling it out, at least.
Yes, which is mad. Yeah, absolute mental.
But I mean, it coincides with so much that PlayStation is doing at the moment. Obviously, you've got the DualSense Edge support now on PC, so you can like fully customize the controller.
And use all the haptic feedback and
everything's there. You've got so many PlayStation games coming to PC and already there.
Yep.
There's talk of a PC launcher that seems to be like there's a lot of rumors surrounding that. So it's not that weird, especially if you can use the DualSense controllers fully.
Yeah, actually on it. Yeah.
Then suddenly that game makes loads of sense.
Yes.
And what a great advert for PlayStation, having that game and like all the PlayStation branding
that
on PC.
I think it makes sense. Because I said on Twitter, when are you bringing it to PC? Just as a joke in passing comment. It started like a debate. I was like, like people were like, it won't come to PC. Like,
did someone say it won't run on PC?
Yeah, someone's like, it can't run on PC. Like, yeah, of course, mate. Like, nice one.
What PlayStation have you got?
Yeah. PS12. Yeah.
Yeah, the creative director just outright said, if you're a PC player and you want to play Astro Bot, then we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Which clearly just, to me, says, if there's enough demand from the audience and the market, then of course it will happen. How exciting. My tinfoil hat moment with that is that it will coincide with the PC launcher.
Yeah.
The PlayStation PC launcher coming.
Yeah, maybe.
And that will be like a big moment for them.
Yeah, possibly.
I think they need that to make the idea of PlayStation games on PC make more sense for PlayStation. Financially, if nothing else.
Yeah, because they'll get all the money.
Yeah, but also just to control their ecosystem.
Yes, and it will just be all their games in one place.
Yeah, they're not sat alongside other titles. It's just their stuff.
Be sad for the Steam Deck users.
It will be sad for the Steam Deck users.
Unless they dual do it. Do you know what I mean? There's a PC launcher and they're on Steam.
Yeah, I can't imagine them doing that.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it kind of defies the point, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
Maybe they would, though.
Some people would want to have a PlayStation launcher, do you know what I mean? And just buy them there.
Yeah, that's true.
But I really like the idea of more PlayStation games coming to PC, because why not? Like, why not?
Why not?
You're just going to make more money and make more fans that will then make more money for you. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of silly not to.
What games are I most hyped for? Well, thanks for asking.
I was waiting to ask you that. But then you went down the rabbit hole about frickin' Astro's Playroom.
I'm sorry. I think Astro's Playroom is definitely one of them.
Yeah. How about the 2 games that you cancelled your pre-orders for?
We're not allowed to talk about that.
So I don't complete games, but you don't buy them.
It's so true. Yeah, so podcast listeners will know that I obviously pre-ordered Star Wars Outlaws and Space Marines 2 for the PS5.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
I cancelled my pre-orders. I didn't trust Ubisoft. No. I couldn't do it.
No, that's fair enough.
And then obviously I bought the Xbox. I talked about this in the last episode. I bought the Series X and I was like, the best chance. I'm really hyped for Space Marines 2. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most.
I think that's great.
There are some question marks around it still though. We'll see when it's out. But
It's out.
is it out now?
Yes.
What's happened to life? Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've totally missed the boat there. When did it launch?
I'm pretty sure it's today.
Oh, right,
Again.
okay. I'm really looking forward to the game that's out.
I'm pretty sure it's today.
Oh, wow.
All the reviews and everything went up the other day, didn't
yeah,
they?
they did.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's today that it comes out.
Okay, well, there you go. I can go and buy it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was there was a lot of question marks about cross-play for the co-op bit, and I like the idea of being able to play that game at co-op at some point,
Yes.
if you do get it at some point, or if, I know Tempuris, who's one of our channel members, Discord mod, he was talking about getting it as well. So I was like, oh, maybe this would be quite a good game to co-op. But either way, it's basically Gears of War in the Warhammer universe.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah.
And like the fluid dynamics they've done for like the like the swarms. It looks really cool.
Yes.
I know that the renders and the gameplay footage we've seen would have been captured on a really high-end PC for it to look
like
as good as it does.
4090 or
Yeah,
something.
definitely 4090, like really cranking it.
Yeah.
So how good it will look on Xbox and PlayStation is another question entirely. It was struggling to run on the Ally X, wasn't it? I remember seeing some benchmarks about that.
I didn't.
You shared them with me.
Oh, did I? I can't remember.
You sent them to me on Twitter. You're like, have a look at this.
Yeah, maybe.
And it was all the benchmarks of Space Marine 2 running on different graphics cards.
Oh, I didn't actually look at it. I just saw the...
just saw the headline?
Yeah, I saw the headline, and it was just some PC company just saying that it was a bit muddy and the resolution was rubbish on PC or something.
Yeah, there was some struggles with some of the lower end cards.
I didn't know that they were testing it with...
I'm sure there was... it was chugging a bit on the Ally X. Frame rates were a problem.
Wow.
But I don't know. I don't know enough about like PC benchmarks to really understand what they're talking
I'll have
about.
to go back and have a look, yeah.
But also, it didn't say anything about like had they optimized the settings at all.
Yeah, are they using any upscalers or frame generation?
And the other thing that's mad, you talked about this a fair amount, that seems mad with the Ally X in particular, is your instinct is to run everything in like a low setting.
Yeah.
Because it's handheld.
Yeah.
And quite often you'll get a poorer performance frame rate wise by doing that.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Really counterintuitive.
Or you can get the same performance but with way higher textures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, some modern games like Star Wars Outlaws, for example, it's like, right, let's try it on the Ally. Because really, I've been playing it on my 3080 PC, streaming it to my Ally on the TV and running it at like 1440p, like maxed out.
Yeah.
Or I could just stream it to the Ally itself. But I was like, no, let's get the Ally to run the game. Yeah. So I'm like straight to low. You watched it. I streamed it to you from the Ally.
Over Discord. It was
and
mad,
then you're watching it on another Ally.
Yeah,
it was so weird.
I sat watching it.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's one of the weirdest experiences. Having a handheld console and then having someone else's gameplay full screen and like you're instinctively looking for the buttons. Yeah. I had to put it down and just like not touch it.
Were you like a kid pretending, this is me, I'm playing?
I did that when I was a kid.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was running it from the Ally when I was streaming it to you.
Yeah.
And I instinctively just went, low everything.
Yeah.
You know, still had FSR on and frame gen, but it's just low everything. Then I was like, no, I'm going to have a tinker around with this. Let's see some optimized like guides online. And I was like, looking at one guide, I was like, this can't be right. It's like high textures, like medium on this, like high on that, low on that. And I was like, really? I was like, this is going to be like chugging. Yeah, I really thought so. It was like 1080p. I thought, okay. For
900s.
I was thinking maybe we'll be running at 900p and boost the textures and stuff. No, 1080p. And I was like, let's just have a look at the frame rate. So I did the same benchmark, like walk around in the city, which is pretty struggly.
Yeah.
You know? And everything on low was like high 30s or 40 or whatever. Then this like mixture of like high, medium and low, it was like basically the same, maybe like give or take 2 FPS, you know. Mental. And I was like, this is nuts. And obviously the VRR screen, even with low frame rate compensation like on there, you can't tell. Like as long as it's over like, 35 FPS, everything looks great. So I was like, turn the frame rate counter off and was like, this looks so much better than when I was streaming it to you with everything just looking potato. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's pretty mad.
That game, it's a really interesting, almost like a social experiment, that game. It's great.
Yeah.
you can't get away. It's not like Game of the Year great.
No,
but it's a good game.
I'd say it's a good 7 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly that.
Which is good. That's not a bad score.
It's a good game. It's exactly the game we all knew it was going to be.
Yeah, I think
they didn't hide anything.
No,
from what you've played of it and what I've seen of you playing it, it's like it just seems exactly the game that they promised.
Yeah,
you're this rogue-like character, a scoundrel, isn't it, in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah.
You're kind of sneaking around. You're trying to avoid combat, but you can get into it.
Yes.
You can get into your spaceship, and the flying stuff's really cool.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
You got these big maps, man. It's huge. I don't know why, and this is the social experiment part of it, the user score on it is so low.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
4.9.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't give that that. Like, I don't know what it is with it.
It feels like it's almost like it's attractive to hate on a game.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it's fun to dislike it.
Yeah, I don't know why either, because I like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm considering buying it to keep playing.
Or like, do we just enjoy things failing?
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but like, know. Do we not want to like games?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm slightly biased because I've grown up with Star Wars. I'm quite a big Star Wars guy. I've literally been to Star Wars conventions and stuff. You know, I've met like Jimmy Bullock. I've got like signed stuff. I've got like
Jimmy Bullock. Is he a football player?
Boba Fett, and and all this kind of stuff. So I've
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
The things you put in the cold drinks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
like boba tea.
Yeah. That you get in Japan. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So he bought me one of those.
Wow. Yeah.
But so I'm already coming from like loving Star Wars anyway.
Yeah.
But you're not a Jedi. Like, and this is what got me about people going, I'm a Force stealth. It's like, you're just a woman.
You're just a
in
character.
Space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not freaking. You're not like Yoda. You can just like mind bend people. You're not Darth Vader. You can just like choke them out.
We've had enough of that.
Yeah.
Like we've had enough of those kind of games. Like Force Unleashed exists. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. So you are literally just a normal person in the world of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you've got to infiltrate like the Empire's like hangout. Like you're not going to run in the guns blazing. You'll just die. Like, and that's what happens in the game. You have to go around unless you get me freaking wanted. Because my gameplay style is I feed into the stealth, right? So I'm like, I will stealth. If I die, unless it's a mission that Force quits, but like and restarts you at the beginning, because there is missions that is Force stealth.
You're like, if you get noticed, you're like, restart the mission.
Yeah. I'll be like, done, reload.
Yeah.
Like I will just go again until I do it without getting seen. You're like, just go in guns blazing. So,
I was making him John Rambo everything.
Yeah. So I got spotted and you're like, roll with it. So I've got like the whole Empire like going like going nuts. It goes wanted at the top. Death troopers are coming.
It's amazing.
We were like, this is great. So I ran in, did the mission, got the stuff, came out, realised I'd left stuff behind, went back in, snuck through, got it all again, came back out, and then I couldn't teleport anywhere. And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
it was like, you're wanted.
Travel.
It was like, you have to go to the Death Troopers. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to die. like they're freaking Death Troopers.
This story gets better though.
Yeah,
because if you get like a high wanted level with the Empire, then the Death Troopers come after you and then you have to escape them. And once the aggro's died down, they appear somewhere on the map.
Yeah, just randomly. Yeah.
And you have to then infiltrate this like pop-up base.
Yes.
And clear your wanted level on like the computers. You have to steal a key card off of someone.
Yeah.
It's really nails.
Yeah.
So this happened and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to do it. So we went to it and you tried and failed maybe 6 times.
Yes.
Finally did it. And and I have to express, it's really hard.
Yeah, it was really hard.
And I'm like trying to guide you through it. Like things I see as well. I'm not trying to stitch you up this time. I'm trying to help you do it.
Yeah.
Finally does it. The game crashes. When he reloads, it hadn't auto-saved.
Nope.
So he had to then
I had to do the whole thing again in a different location with different terrain, so I couldn't use the same
different
tactics.
Puzzle.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Like literally we just did it, was speedering away. I was like, yay, let's go to town.
Yeah.
Like all this kind of thing. It just went boom, like just freaking hard quit, like Alt F4 it. Just fucking, just bam.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, like this is awful. So we had to do it all again.
It was brilliant.
It wasn't brilliant. I was very
I'm there
pissed
for
off.
it.
You're loving it. I wasn't.
It's genuinely enjoyed it.
But anyway, like I like the game.
Yeah.
Like, I actually like the game, and it is what I expected. I like the mini games. I like the card game.
I can't believe you like the card game.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I like the card game. I like the setting. Like, I'm genuinely liking it. Just being around the Star Wars world and universe, you know. And I kind of like just being nobody.
Yeah.
You know, just being a person and doing some dodgy like backstreet
and
deals
having all
stuff.
the limitations of like I can't just use a jet. I can't use my lightsaber. I can't use the Force.
Yeah, you're not a god like walking through just churning everyone up. Like you've actually got to think about it how you would, you know, if you were trying to steal something out of a bank or something. You know,
it looks beautiful.
I like it,
and it's set in a really cool world.
Yeah,
or worlds.
Yes.
Although you've just been on one world, you're trying to 100% this thing.
Oh well, I've just been doing every side quest, and I went into it going, I won't do any side quests. I'll just do the story, you know, and I've been avoiding the story, just doing all the side quests.
Very quickly.
Just getting everything, all the upgrades. Literally, I'm just doing all I can. So, yeah, but we'll see how that goes.
Yesterday, at the time of filming this, so a couple of days ago for you guys listening and watching this, there were the Switch 2 rumour mill cranked up to 1,000% again.
Yes.
Because there was some analysts tweeting out about things they had seen from like the financial side of things about Nintendo, and some kind of more leaks coming out, and they're specifically focused not on like what we're going to see with the Switch 2, which we've seen 1,000 different variants of it, more when precisely we're going to see the announcement and then the subsequent release. Everything that was being reported on, whether it's true or not, is, I mean, it's all second guessing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
a lot of the analyzing was looking at the manufacturers and how much money they'd been spending on like tooling and automation and stuff, and they like tripled their spend in the last quarter of this year, like,
as expected.
Yeah, and like none of that's a shock.
No, yeah,
and like the thing about this that kind of I find a little bit frustrating. I feel like did no one else like listen?
Yeah.
Because Nintendo themselves said that the Switch successor won't be out in this financial year.
Yes.
2025 financial year, which ends in March.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So we know that if there is going to be manufacturing, it's going to be happening at the end of this year, like right now.
Ready
for probably April, but maybe a little bit ahead of that as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not like a big shock horror, is it?
No.
It's like it's kind of expected. They've told us it's coming. They've told us it's going to come next year.
You get this kind of like really like obvious reporting, but then because there's so much appetite for the Switch successor, the Switch 2, just goes into like full fever pitch. Nintendo did an entire podcast just about this.
Yeah.
Which I found pretty. I mean, they're a Nintendo show, so I guess they got to talk about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else really to talk about right now.
Yeah, well, true. There's not been much to talk about for a while in Nintendo land.
Yeah, and I guess that's part of it. But anyway, the reports are that the announcement is likely to be either in the week before the Tokyo Game Show or the week after it.
Yes.
So you've got between the 18th and the 26th of September, which is like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or after the Tokyo Game Show, but before the opening of the Nintendo Museum.
Yeah.
Which is on the 6th of October.
Yeah, okay.
There's some people kind of surmising that perhaps they'll do it at the Nintendo Museum
that'd be
ahead
cool.
of launch of it as a good way of kind of promoting both things at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I really like the idea of.
I like the
honest.
idea of that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Would you go to the Nintendo Museum?
Yeah, if they flew us out there.
I don't think they're flying anyone out there.
Oh, okay.
I think that those tickets sell themselves.
Yeah.
It's like Disney.
I would go. Like, I wouldn't like actively spend like thousands of pounds to go and like
you
go
wouldn't make
there
a trip just to go there.
No, of course not.
What do you think is going to be in it? Like just old games?
No idea.
It's going to be theme rides and stuff, isn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
And people dressed up.
Possibly. Or maybe it's just really boring.
Like just an actual history museum. In 1885, we made cards.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, when you go to like foreign museums and they give you like
those
earpieces, or like little iPod things or whatever. You know, they just give you
press
like an
track
old
5 now.
Yeah, they give you a DS or something, and you can, you know.
It got us talking this morning actually about the Switch 2, and I feel like there's some bits of the story that no one's talking about. about what it's going to be, and I really feel like it's going to surprise a lot of people.
I hope it does. I mean, Nintendo are full of surprises, and I want to see some surprises. You know what I mean? I want some things the same, but I want to see what new like gimmick or whatever it is that they.
And that's the bit that interests me the most. They always do something that's an unexpected, on face value gimmick, but it plays into their ethos in some way.
Yeah, and the gameplay or whatever.
Yeah, and in my head, I did a really good way of describing it earlier. You've got, if you imagine in the spectrum of gaming, you've got Nintendo over here on your left.
Yeah.
And then you've got PlayStation and Xbox over here on your right, and then PC somewhere another mile down the road further that way. Yeah. But if that's the spectrum of console gaming, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. And then Nintendo typically is most successful when they really embrace, I imagine that kind of Wii generation of games when
that's
it's
exactly
like
it. Yeah,
Mario Party,
stuff.
the family stuff, the sports, the Mario Switch Sports, whatever you call it.
Switch Sports on Wii, yeah.
Wii Sports, thank you.
Switch Family Wii Sports.
Switch Family Sports.
Yeah.
All of that kind of like multiplayer in your lounge fun stuff, and in recent years it was like motion controlled and like you think like the Mario Party games or like the Wario games and stuff.
They're all the good stuff.
That's where like Nintendo is happiest.
Yeah, because it's some really random Japanese stuff going on, and it's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but that is where it's like that's its safe place. That's its home.
Yeah,
and as the Switch generation has gone on, maybe us as the players, but also some of the games that have been released, is pushed it more towards like the PlayStation and Xbox side of things. Those single player and action adventure games.
Yes.
Those kind of narrative driven things. Well, they always existed, but like that's kind of where it's pushed towards. And when we've been looking at the rumors and the hype about the Switch 2 release, all of it's been focused on performance and of like
it's going to be like a Steam Deck
power,
2, and all this kind of stuff.
And considering the third-party games that are going to land on it, that might be like the Call of Duties and all that stuff that are way more over on the PlayStation, Xbox side of things, which has pulled everyone's thinking like it's going to be more traditional console-like.
Yeah.
When as more time goes on, I'm thinking really it's going to surprise everyone. It's going to be way more Nintendo than everyone is anticipating.
Yes. Yeah.
And no one's talking about that.
No, I think it's fully going to be more powerful than Switch because it has to be.
Of course.
That's so out of date now. It's nearly 10 years out of date, literally. So, if the Switch 2 launches in 2025, the APU of the Switch was 2015. It will literally be 10 years out of date.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be miles ahead of that. But it's not going to be looking to be the next GameCube. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be looking to be that kind of performance beast because you've already got all these other crazy things that are 10 times the price that are better already.
Yeah.
So I think...
And that's not Nintendo's place.
No, that's what I mean. I think they're going to go, right, the performance is up there to cater for these third-party companies like Call of Duty that is coming. We know that. But then I think they're going to throw a spanner into it and do something different. I mean,
we think even when the Switch itself released, now the Switch has, like we say, has become more in the center.
Yes,
and it's like got more of those kind of single player adventure kind of experiences.
And just way more third parties over time.
But when the Switch itself was released, just remember the motion controls, remember the IR stuff, the Mario, the Nintendo guy with the balls in his hands and stuff. Whatever that was about.
1-2 Switch or whatever.
Yes, all of that stuff, and it was all about the kind of the gimmick, as it were.
Yeah.
The Nintendo-ness of it.
Yeah. HD Rumble and all that.
Yes, that was the balls in his hands.
Yeah. I was watching a different video. So.
Oh, yeah. Balls in hands. Yeah. But like over time, it's stick drifted into
it has over time stick drifted into that. Yeah. I like that.
But I think the announcement is going to surprise everyone. And I think it's going to, on face value, disappoint a lot of the non-hardcore Nintendo fans.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Like, I think when they have inevitably some kind of, maybe they bring the camera back or they've got like motion control games and stuff, I think there's going to be a lot of signaling of disappointment that it's not the new Steam Deck.
Yeah, but that's what all these PC handhelds are there for.
Yeah.
Just buy a Steam Deck. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm
I think there'll be a lot of finger pointing. There'll be a lot of laughing that it's underpowered.
Oh yeah,
all of that stuff.
It's always going to be the case. Nintendo do wacky things and everyone thinks it's funny, but then they do really well.
Yeah,
But I'm looking forward to it. I hope they bring motion controls back in a good way, because there's been those rumors about motion controls being told to third-party controller manufacturers that it must be included.
Yeah, must have gyro.
Yeah. So I'd love to see a light bar again from the Wii, because gyro in the Switch sucks. Like, compared to the Wii's motion controls that use the the infrared bar, that's so much more accurate. Like, unbelievably more accurate. I'd love to see that again, and then we could see Wii games on Switch Online expansion pack. It just make more sense, or just release them as full remakes or whatever, or just new entries.
Yeah,
what I mean? I loved the Wii. I think it was brilliant, and having an option for something as good as that on the Switch 2 would be very cool.
Yeah,
definitely see some new gameplay with the technology now from the Wii from what was that, 2005? So that's 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So we could see some real cool motion controlled stuff if they bring something like that back, but it could be something totally new that we don't know.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it will be that. It'll be something unexpected, and whether that sits with gamers or not is another thing.
Whatever it is, I'm buying it day one.
Yeah, I think it will do really well. I don't think it'll outsell the Switch.
No, I don't.
I think it will do really well.
Yeah.
But I'm just anticipating the finger pointing disappointment from some of the Xbots and the PlayStation.
But there's always going to be, and that's not who it's for. Do you know what I mean? Like, those people never even buy one anyway. Do you know what I mean? They just point and go, man, that's rubbish.
It's not very good.
Yeah.
Talking of disappointment.
Yeah.
35 minutes in. You're probably disappointed if you read the title and you've clicked on the so far, but I'll sort you out now.
Yes.
And it does sit with the disappointment theme. I wanted to look at the massive disappointment that Concord was.
Oh.
And what does that kind of express for PlayStation's future?
Oh.
When you compare the utter train wreck failure that game is to Astro Bot. Like, for a second, I just want us in PlayStation land to think about what that obvious comparison is.
Well, can I just stop you there and say there's a reason why AJ, right, as a die-hard PlayStation fan, look
massive PlayStation,
massive
must
collection.
have over 1,000 PlayStation games.
Oh, so many of them. How many PlayStation 5s do you own?
This is a barbed question. I can feel where this is going. One.
How many current season Xboxes do you own?
Look, we don't have to get into this right now, okay?
Go on, just answer the question, please. This is a number question. Two. So AJ, that was I Hate Xbox, now within the past less than a year, has bought 2 Xboxes.
Yes.
Cancelled PS5 pre-orders.
Yes.
And intended to rebuy them on Xbox.
That is correct.
All because of Concord. So
I'm sorry, okay. I've got nothing. I've got nothing to give on that.
No.
It's actually totally justified.
No. The only reason is Game Pass. But
it's 100% Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's 100% Game Pass.
But
it's just it.
Looking at Concord.
Well, the big before Concord was released, it was, I can't remember exactly when it was, and that bit frustrates me, but it was definitely expressed by Sony that a lot of the future direction for their games is going to be live service.
We talked about it in an episode.
Yeah.
So a while back, because we were like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, it was maybe a year ago.
Yeah, a year or two ago, I think.
Yeah.
And they were clearly cooking up this rubbish in the background, thinking it was going to be great.
This has been in development for a long time.
Well, apparently 8 years. For like a week's worth of 10
days.
Yeah, 10 days.
It lasted 10 days.
Yes, but I remember when they announced that, we both went, oh no, because you can't chase the whole you're not going to be Fortnite.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen.
There's these, exactly that. There's these odd moments that happen where games defy expectations. Power World is an example. There's odd moments where that came out of nowhere. Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2 came out of nowhere. And that is a live service game.
Yeah.
You could say that justified PlayStation Studios' direction.
Maybe.
But just really simply, if you put Helldivers 2 on the table and you put Concord on the table...
We can't put Concord on the table anymore.
It's gone. But if you just put them on the table and just look at them both, even without touching them, I could tell you which one was going to do better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Miles. Yeah.
So does no one at PlayStation play games?
Don't think so, no.
Like, any one of the decision makers, they must look at it and go... That's not going to do very well because it looks like all the other arena shooters.
It looks like generic, like, you know.
Oh, it's Overwatch 0.5.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you telling me about the trailer that came out.
Yeah.
And I watched the beginning bit, the like CG bit. I was like, this looks like a really cool game.
Yes.
Like, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
And then it jumps into like, have an arena shooter. And I was like, nope.
What?
And then when you actually look at the gameplay, it's like, this is crap.
Yeah. Now, I will say...
generic.
I'm not one of the 25,000 people that bought it.
No.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I'm not one of those. There may be some really redeeming features. I'm sure Firewalk Studios, who built it, did a really good job with the remit that they had.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet it's probably really tightly made. I can imagine they wouldn't have spent $200 million
$200 million
making something that didn't play very well.
Yeah, but the same, if they spent 8 years and $200 million making that, do you know what I mean? And you look at like Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think you're giving them too much credit.
Probably I'm giving them too much credit.
8 years, 200 million. I think I could make a game. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, I'll just go headhunt some people.
Yeah.
You know, I'll keep 100 million, go buy an island.
Oh, yeah. Buy,
and then I'll make another game. Do you know what I mean? It'd be fine.
It's mental. It's a mental failure. But just on face value, I could tell you, between Helldivers 2, which was a small production that came out of nowhere.
Yes.
And that's those weird exceptions. But the setting, the novelty of it, you just knew that was going to do well.
Yeah, it looks great. I still want to play it.
It's got the right amount of humour.
Yeah.
It's just everything about it is fun. Concord, everything about it is generic and is the kind of game that universally we all dislike.
It's literally the definition of clone.
It is like a clone game.
It is just taken Overwatch, Fortnite, like a bunch of other stuff and gone, oh, let's just pinch a bit of that and make it real generic.
Yeah.
Like all the characters you'd seen before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what I would image a character to be when you say like an arena shooter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just...
Now, I'll take Helldivers 2 off the table because it was a weird exception.
Yeah.
But it was a wild success for something of such a small development. And we compare like the two most recent PlayStation releases, Concord and Astro Bot.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Astro Bot is the most highly rated platformer in the PlayStation era, at least. It's scored in the 90s in Metacritic.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's single player narrative.
Yes.
It's everything that PlayStation is and was and should be.
Yeah. Which they kind of killed off. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like all those kind of really cool 3D platformers have all just disappeared.
They're gone.
Like, you know, like I know we've got Ratchet and Clank again.
Yes.
And that's brilliant because I've loved that game. It's
another great example of what it should be.
Yes. Yeah. But like, you know, Jack and Daxter and all that kind of stuff. Like, where are they, you know? So seeing Astro Bot like come...
you got the Crocs, the Spyros.
Yeah.
I know Crash has gone over now because it was part of the takeover from Xbox.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
But yeah.
Those not just platform like fun adventure games, but also just awesome single player narratives.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the backbone of PlayStation. It wasn't multiplayer.
No.
At all.
No.
When PlayStation launched, if you wanted multiplayer, you bought an N64.
Yes. Yeah, for GoldenEye.
Well, no, you did for GoldenEye,
yeah, of course,
and also for like Mario Kart,
all the party games,
party games,
which Nintendo are known for. Yeah,
that was its thing.
Yeah,
PlayStation was like really cool
RPG machine, wasn't it?
Yeah, RPGs or adventure games or action games or platformers.
Yes,
but something that had a narrative that was single player driven.
Yes,
that's what PlayStation was, and that's what it was built off. And they did really well. They did really well up to the PS4.
Yeah.
And then they've decided that, I guess after the success of seeing the success of like Call of Duty, and its like live service offerings, of seeing like PUBG appear.
Yeah, Fortnite. And all that. Yeah, they've gone, What
was the other one that was slightly futuristic that... a battle royale. It was a live service one. I can't even remember what it's called now.
I delete them from my brain.
Yeah,
don't play them.
Yeah. But then of course you had like Overwatch as well. Yes. And then you get like into the arena shooters. These live service things, they seem to. There was some that were really successful, and I think they're chasing the dragon on that a little bit.
Oh, totally. That's exactly what it is. They've gone, we want some of that.
And it's fine to add these things to your offerings.
Yeah, but not make a direction to focus on them.
If you abandon what it is that is the core reason of your existence,
yes,
then you're going to lose your way and forget who you are.
Yeah, totally.
And they could go, I mean, if they're not careful, they could go in a bit of an Xbox direction, which Xbox got lost doing exactly this.
Very mixed messages, like change in tact, like every couple of years. Yeah, totally.
You think Xbox chased the multiplayer thing down and started getting lost doing that?
Yeah.
PlayStation, we need PlayStation. We need PlayStation to be there, but we need PlayStation to focus on awesome IPs,
big,
awesome
like single player experiences.
We need that. And the market, not just the market, that sounds too businessy. The players, for the players, PlayStation, are telling them, they're voting with their feet. Concord versus Astro Bot.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, exactly. And I would I'd buy Astro Bot 1,000 times before I played Concord.
You can't.
No.
Why is that, Andy?
Because they're waiting to see how many more people want it on PC before they bring it over.
Yeah, why would you have to wait for it to be on PC though? That seems weird because you're like a console game. Like you like review stuff for like consoles and like you're a big gamer, aren't you? So you'd have everything.
Yeah. I do.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've got a PS Vita.
You've got a PS1 somewhere.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably like on a shelf or in a drawer.
It's on the shelf.
You got PSP?
I do, yeah.
Did you get the PSPP?
No, not
you
the
didn't
PSPP.
Get the PSPP.
They haven't launched that one yet.
So you sold your PS5 is what I'm getting at because you're a heathen.
Yes, I am.
And it's one of the few reasons why I hate you.
I know.
There's a couple now. Completing games, selling your PS5.
You're just trying to like claw back at the fact that you've got two Xboxes.
I am. I'm trying to redeem myself with the PlayStation fans.
No, I am sad that I haven't got the PS5 anymore. I should have just kept it and let it kept gathering dust.
Yeah.
But playing, most of the PlayStation games are on PC anyway. Do you know what I mean?
They are, yeah.
So I can just play them either on my desktop or on the Ally X. So it's just kind of like, it was pointless. It literally, since we got the Xbox, the PlayStation's just been off.
Yeah.
It's just literally been off.
Yeah.
I turn it on to update it, turn it off. Like I got Stellar Blade, played that for a few hours, turned it off.
One thing I'm really interested with when you talk about single player narratives in the future of PlayStation is what the impact of Final Fantasy.
Yes.
That's right. Stamp that bingo card. Of Final Fantasy and Square leaving PlayStation exclusivity and it going multi-platform at launch. So when the new Final Fantasy VII remake comes out and the next Final Fantasy edition, Final Fantasy 17, whatever that is, obviously sometime in the future.
Yeah.
When that lands, what the impact on PlayStation will be.
Yeah.
Because for many people, it was the reason to have a PlayStation.
When I think PlayStation, I think Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and that's fair. Yeah. It's been 30 years of it.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah, it has been 30 years. It's literally, they're just doing their 30-year announcement.
I want to insert some horror music there.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? Well, and also they leaked their own PS5 Pro in the
I'm not
image.
Sure about this.
Of course they did. It lines with the leaks.
Or does it look like the PS2 Mini there?
No, it looks like a PS5 with the little stripes on it.
Excuse me, you can see my bum while I turn around.
Oh, great.
Or did it just look like that?
No, it literally was a PS5 outline.
Was it?
Yeah, no, it actually was.
Was it?
No, it was. It was the PS5's weird, alien frickin' spaceship horns and stuff. It legit is the outline of a PS5, but it's got the Pro lining on it.
I'm not sure about it.
It is. It's totally it. They announced it, put that image up.
They put an image up.
Yeah, but everything in the image is a product.
Yes.
It's even got a normal PS5 outline on the opposite side.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got the same thing, but without the lines on it.
My instant reaction was, this is gaming articles desperately trying to write an article.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I was like, that's thin, man.
No, but it's legit.
Okay.
Like, it really is. They're totally going to announce it. Like, they really are.
They are going to announce it for certain. And
it's going to look like that.
It will inevitably look like that. You're right.
It will.
I just, I'm trying to be cynical. That's all. Stealing my fun.
I would buy one, but I'm not going to.
No. PS5 Pro?
Yeah. No.
I think, much like how I felt about the PS4, to be honest, I think if you've got a PS5 already, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Unless you've got money to burn and you really want the bleeding edge of performance for PS5 games, of which there's like 3.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, okay, cool. If you don't have a PS5 yet, then get a PS5 Pro, because you're future-proofing yourself into the PS6 era easily.
Yes.
And that's cool.
Yes.
But,
and if they did anything like they've done with the PS4 and the PS5, your PS5 Pro will last until the PS7.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's another thing about the future of PlayStation. They have to abandon the PS4 yesterday.
What is with that? We're like,
I don't know.
We're creeping in on 5 years, and there's still PS4 land.
Still PS4 land. So when this Pro announcement's made, which everyone's saying is likely to be like September, October time, it's going to be announced like around now. That will be the 4th anniversary of the PS5, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's when it was announced, and it was then launched. Was it in November, just after?
Something like that, yeah.
Which is everything that everyone's talking about. The PS5 Pro is what they did with the PS4, and then the PS4 Pro. Same time, kind of same rhythm, same timing. So that will be the 4th anniversary of the PS5, and they're still supporting the PS4, which sounds really lovely. Still supporting. We still support the PS4. Great for the PS4 players. That's fine. You can support with firmware updates. You can support the operating system.
Keep it going for ages.
You can support the online shop and all of that.
That's fine.
Keep that going for as long as you can. That's great.
But stop making practically exclusive games for it.
Honestly, stop releasing games for it.
Yeah. Just outright stop. Because there's no incentive to buy the PS5.
We talk about like one of the big hindrances for games being released on Xbox is the Series S.
Yes.
Which is like a slightly tarted up previous generation console.
Yeah.
It basically is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that lack of performance is really holding back a lot of game development and release for the Xbox, because Xbox insist on parity on both consoles for releases.
But that's exactly what's happening with the PS4.
I fully believe it's one of the things that's holding back the feeling of games being next generation.
Yes, because they aren't next generation. They're not being
because they're
solely
having to be released on PS4.
Yeah. And I agree that the Series S is in line with the PS4.
Yeah.
If they got rid of the Series S and got rid of the PS4, we might start seeing some actual current gen games.
When Funcom, who are the developers of the Dune Awakening game that's coming out,
yes,
which looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
An huge MMO RPG set in the Dune universe.
Yeah.
Awesome combat, great RPG mechanic. It looks phenomenal.
It does look amazing.
But it's going to be an absolute beast for performance.
Yes.
So when the developers themselves are acknowledging that you're going to want a decent graphics card if you're playing this on PC, you're going to need decent performance from this. Consoles, they're obviously going to do like a scaled back like textures and stuff on it, so it's going to be slightly less.
Mode.
Yeah, potato mode, and it'll probably run maybe at 30 FPS. Fine, really, for an MMO. It'll look all right.
It'll be fine.
But when they're outright saying the Series S is the problem, we know that
there's a problem. Yeah.
There's a real problem if they're coming out and just saying it. And I mean, Baldur's Gate had to get special permission, didn't they?
Yes, that was an exception. Yeah, because it wasn't going to come out at all, and then they went, "Oh, go on then."
Yeah, they had
just put it on the X instead. That's fine. Yeah,
so having these, like, going back to PlayStation, because that's what we should be talking about. Having the PS4 still sat there like, I don't know, the kid in the corner. You know what I mean?
They just need to, just decapitate it already.
Put it down.
Yes.
Take it to the farm.
They need to, it's terrible. But, I mean, I don't know. In terms of the games, I feel like Concord is a big, like...
I hope it's a very expensive mistake. Very expensive lesson.
Yeah. But I hope it's a lesson. And I hope Astro Bot's also a lesson.
The thing I worry about for the PlayStation developed games, the PlayStation Studio family, is obviously development's not like an on and off switch. It's not like an overnight thing. These things have got a long ramp up.
Oh, yeah.
So a game releasing today has multiple years before it's released. So what's in the pipework?
Yeah, already.
There's all
how many more Concord clones?
Exactly that, because they talked about our focus is going to be live service.
Yeah.
So how many more of these live service abominations are we going to see born?
Yeah. Exactly.
Before they can actually change the direction of the ship?
Yeah.
Or would they be bold enough to cut them off?
Probably.
And go, right,
I hope so.
let's focus.
Yeah.
I mean, the easiest thing they could do is focus on rebooting some old IPs and maybe doing some remasters of some other stuff to kind of pave over.
Yeah.
To appease some fans, but we do need new IPs. We do need new additions into older IPs that really sing to the core audience of PlayStation fans, of which I count myself as one.
Yeah, and I am really for like the core games.
Yeah,
like leave all these rubbish multiplayer games to the third parties.
Yes,
let them like burn to the ground. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You're the top dog. You're going to be leading by example, not trying to chase, someone else's success. You should be stapling, like keeping Final Fantasy on PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? Doing Astro Bot, like trying to keep up with Nintendo's quality.
Yes.
Which is what I've seen people saying about Astro Bot is feels like a Nintendo game.
Feels like it does.
Actually good.
Because it looks like it's fun.
Yeah.
The focus has been about gameplay and enjoyment, a slight tongue-in-cheek humor, which as gamers we all love.
Yeah.
Go back to Helldivers. It's why that's done so well. It's fun and it's funny.
Yes.
Not all games have to be funny, but what I mean is they have to have something about them more than just a copied game mechanic.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why I feel like Concord was a big, like it was like they were trying to copy everything else rather than being unique. And I think they shouldn't even focus on live service at all. Again, live service should just be for third-party companies. Deal with that. Do you know what I mean? And
take your cut and be happy.
Yeah. Like I understand with like stuff like Helldivers and stuff, that's fine, but because that's quite unique.
It was a unique experience,
but not Concord. Like that's just so blatant clone. Like, just no.
200 million, 25,000 sales across PlayStation and Steam.
Well, Steam didn't even freaking beat out Gollum.
Concurrent players.
Even beat
less than 700, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maximum concurrent players.
Gollum is literally a turd. Like,
I mean,
it's like an alpha test.
Yeah. It was like an alpha test.
It was, yeah.
I mean, if you were an indie game and that was your sales, you'd be like probably quite happy about it.
Yeah.
But you probably hadn't spent 200 million.
Yeah, exactly.
You hadn't remortgaged everyone's houses.
Yeah.
God. I mean, you could buy a town.
Yeah. 200 million for that.
It's a turd.
It's terrible. But Astro Bot, on the other hand, is the kind of thing that would want me to get back into PlayStation.
And that's my point. It's like, when there's enough of those experiences or the experience is big enough, people buy your console to play it. They don't sell your console because you don't need it anymore.
But again, just make it available to PC and you'll sell so many more copies.
Yeah.
So many more copies. And you might even then sell more PlayStations.
Well, I think you would. With Astro Bot, I think you would. It's a great advert for reigniting nostalgia in PlayStation and everything. That's great because it goes through the journey of PlayStation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it brings in all the IPs and these big characters from PlayStation history and they become part of the game. What an awesome advert for it. It is just an advert that you buy and play.
Yeah, basically, which is exactly what Playroom was, wasn't it?
It was like, so well done.
It was just a big advert for the controller.
I smiled ear to ear the whole time I was playing that.
Yeah, me too. And unfortunately, that was the peak of my PlayStation 5 experience.
Yeah.
Like, I've had great times on it since, but nothing as much as Astro's Playroom was.
No.
That was so good. So I'm definitely gutted I can't play Astro Bot because I don't have a PS5. But again, if it ever comes to PC, then great. Because that was part of the reason why I got rid of the PS5 was because like all these games are available on PC. Stellar Blade's coming on PC.
Ghost of Satsuma is better. In every single way.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can play it on your Ally X as well. Exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's not like there's a PS Vita 2 yet.
The PSPP.
The PSPP, yeah.
Yeah. And talking of PP, it's time to to wrap it up because I need to go for a pee.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Just I wanted to share with you.
I could have just kept ranting around.
You could do, but we're an hour in and their family's missing them now.
Oh, are they? Oh.
Their car journey's probably over. They're just sat in the driveway.
Hiding in the boot.
Oh, God, that turned dark.
I said hiding.
Not locked in.
Not being forced in the boot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no. Not like your wife.
Yeah, no.
Never seen her.
No.
Does she exist?
Yeah. Yeah.
Locked in your boot.
Yes.
Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think in YouTube land about the future direction of PlayStation games, really, and what the failure of Concord does tell us, because I think it's pretty alarming and pretty damning kind of.
Did anyone else sell their PS5 after seeing the failure of Concord? This sucks. Bye.
Did anyone buy Concord as well?
Yeah.
I've yet to interact with someone that has bought it.
Yes. And what did you see in it? Why?
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because there's only 25,000 of them. They're like a really rare part of the human race.
Yeah, it's probably like all 10-year-olds.
Yeah. I'm kind of tempted to buy a physical copy while they still exist.
Whilst it's still there. Have you seen on like eBay and stuff? They're well expensive.
Are they?
Yeah. The price has got like, well, I get it for the controllers. They did like...
They did a controller?
Yeah. They're like
I didn't see that.
DualSense.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was rubbish.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. And whilst you're down there digging around, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're in podcast land, we love your ears. Thanks for listening to us.
Thank you. Yes.
But you do need to leave the toilet now, I'm afraid.
Yes.
So make sure that you wipe, wash, and then rate the show.
Yes.
5 stars, because it does help us out more than you realise. It really does help us out.
Yeah, we've randomly become like high in the
Philippines
listings.
and Singapore and Malaysia.
It's great. We love it.
Lots of parts of Southeast Asia for some reason.
Don't know why, but I love it.
Andy's face. They love him. What else should they do, Andy?
Become a member.
They should.
Yes. Why? And you get to talk to us and all of our beautiful members in the Discord when I remember to go in there. Yeah,
when Andy does remember to go. There's also, I forgot to mention it earlier in the show. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really bad at remembering things. There is actually a 128 KB bingo card.
There is, yeah.
An actual bingo card for channel members in the Discord. Yes. And if you complete the bingo card and tell me, I'll send you something.
Wow.
Maybe a specimen, maybe a controller. Who knows?
I thought you were going to say maybe asbestos.
Maybe asbestos.
Okay. We've got plenty of that on our roof. I could just chip bits off for you if you like.
Let us know what you'd like, a specimen, asbestos, or a controller. I mean, all are fine.
Yes, whatever you'd like.
Yes, do become a member. It does help us out, and it's more than anything else, it's just lovely to have you around. Yes. And before we go, why not watch another video smashed between our faces?
Do it. Boom.
This one's good.
Yes.
That one, I don't know.
Maybe. I haven't even seen it.
No. So until the next time.
Bye.